Xbox has absolutely infuriated millions of customers, and they have pushed people into unsubscribing from Game Pass, which of course isn't what they want. When they're raising prices, they expect a couple people to drop off, but the majority to stay. And it doesn't look like that's the case, given right now everybody on the internet is furious with them. I have a few different things to show off, but before I get into the topic, if you enjoy the content I create, check out the links in the description, join the community in my live streams, and consider supporting through Patreon or YouTube memberships. Now, we have been seeing a lot of services skyrocket in price, and it's not really shocking to see that Xbox wanted to raise Game Pass up a little bit more, but the fact that they raised it by such a massive amount overnight was really what infuriated so many people and has led to so many people unsubscribing and saying, you know what, enough is enough. When Game Pass Ultimate first launched, it was $15, and now it has officially doubled in price since then, and there are millions of gamers who are definitely not afraid to voice how unhappy they are. So gamers are rushing to cancel Xbox Game Pass after waking up today to some of the most unwelcome news they could imagine. Microsoft confirmed that Xbox Game Pass pricing would see its biggest hike yet, with the popular Ultimate tier rising from $19.99 to $29.99 a month. Now, of course, there are lower tiers on Game Pass, but at the same time, the big reason why you would really want to pay for Ultimate is the day one releases. You get games like Avowed, you get games like Black Ops 7 if they're going to the service, and that is the big reason why you would go for Ultimate over the other two. And now it's just so expensive for so many people that it's not even really worth it. And then if you take into consideration the price hike plus the low level of quality these games typically have, yeah, it's really not worth it. When you are really only getting Avowed, come on now, you can just wait for that to go on sale and get it for $10 or $20 a year down the line, and you're not missing out on anything. So this staggering 50% price increase blindsided loyal fans who have supported Game Pass since its inception. Now, I think it was last week, we all kind of saw the writing on the wall because they made it so you could no longer use your Microsoft points to redeem Game Pass subscriptions. That's when we knew we were screwed. For years, Microsoft marketed the service as the best value in gaming, a low monthly price, granting access to hundreds of titles, day one releases, and cloud streaming. I've actually always been somebody who's kind of shilled for Game Pass. While, yes, the price increases have made me a little bit unhappy, I still thought that it was generally worth that price, but now that they're going up by $10, it most certainly isn't. There are a lot of parents out there as well who don't want to pay $70 or $80 for new games, so they say, I'm going to get my kid an Xbox, I'm going to just get them Game Pass. But now it's no longer a very affordable option because we're still talking about you having to pay $360 a year, more than some consoles before they were raised in price. It says the announcement triggered an immediate reaction, which I'm so happy to see, because a lot of the times people will say maybe they'll see that we're a little bit unhappy and they'll lower it again. No, in this case, the backlash was swift. It says reports surfaced that the official Xbox website's cancellation page became overloaded within hours of the news breaking. The demand to cancel Xbox Game Pass was so great that the system could not handle the sudden surge. If there was ever a sign that gamers have reached their breaking point, this was it. And over the past couple of years, gamers have become extremely vocal, and they are definitely not afraid to vote with their wallets, which I think is so phenomenal. But also keep in mind that when the Jimmy Kimmel shit hit the fan, Disney had, as far as we know, lost about 1.7 million subscribers across their several services, and their web pages didn't go down. So in this case, I would assume that number is significantly higher. Now, there are some people speculating that, oh, maybe Microsoft took the web page down. That would be so insanely illegal, and Microsoft's a company that is always under scrutiny for monopoly and unfair practices. So I don't think that they would risk that, though at the same time, with the way that companies work and the way that they feel untouchable, if you told me that was the case, I would go, yep, that isn't surprising. So, here is the price breakdown. Game Pass Ultimate is $29.99 a month, was $19.99. PC Game Pass $16.49 a month, was $11.99. Standard console plan $14.99 a month, rebranded as premium, and the entry-level core plan remains $9.99 a month, but now rebranded as essential. The fact that they went up by $10 overnight is wild to me. And if they feel like they're facing too much backlash, you know what they're going to do is just go back a little bit. They're going to only raise it by $5, but then in 6 months or maybe a year, you know that they're just going to raise it by that other 5. So even if they backtrack now and they get a little bit of good PR, we know for a fact that this was their plan and they never really cared about our feedback in the first place. Now, of course, Microsoft is arguing that, oh my gosh, the higher cost means brand new benefits. Ultimate members will gain access to Ubisoft Plus classics, more day one releases, and expanded cloud streaming options. They're also trying to market it with Fortnite Plus or something, which I don't care about. Why should I have to pay for these extra services that I'm never going to get use out of? I don't care about Ubisoft Plus classics. I don't care about Fortnite. And they say more day one releases when that was the major selling point of Ultimate anyway. So we should be getting all of those day ones, period. Though, now of course, gamers are massively pushing back, which you love to see it. Microsoft has done everything to destroy the Xbox brand. Ultimate Game Pass is now 50% more expensive in the US and 53% in the UK. I've always said that game subscription services are just like playing 6-5 blackjack. You'll always lose in the long run. I've always said that I don't want the future of entertainment to rely on subscription services. And with the push to the all digital future, I think that it was easy for companies to try to market it to you and get one step closer to their ultimate plan of not having any physical media anymore. And again, I did think that Ultimate was a really good deal at first, but now all of these years later, with everything in the world going up in price, yeah, it's just not a feasible price tag for the products you're getting, because it's not like you own them. And to top that off, when you're trying to sell us on the next Call of Duty 27 and you're trying to sell us on an Avowed, yeah, you are not getting value. So there's tons of people memeing on this, doing Xbox, shooting Xbox, saying, how could gamers do this? It's always our fault in some way, shape, or form. They never can admit their problem and what they did to upset their customers. They always are looking to put the blame on somebody else, and in this case it's just us. Rip Xbox, it was a good run. It's not really that expensive for a pass like that. The value is huge compared to buying multiple games each month. See, this is the fundamental problem: buying multiple games each month. You own those games, and I know technically you're just licensing them, but if they want to take, I don't know, Avowed off Game Pass next month, it doesn't matter how far into it you were, but you still are losing access to it. So it's not even like once a month they're giving you a free game to add to your library of your choosing. That's not what they're doing. Your Xbox Game Pass Ultimate subscription will end on October 12th. $800 console, $1,000 handheld, $360 a year to rent games. Game Pass is the best deal in gaming. Just canceled. Bill was due tomorrow anyway. First time in nearly 20 years I have not had a membership to Live/Game Pass. Good. A 50% increase is insulting to their fan base. And I know that this little woman here and this image is definitely going to haunt their dreams now, given there are thousands upon thousands of screenshots of this, of course, being shared on social media. Remember that before this price hike, it was a record revenue year for Game Pass. There is literally no need for the hike. It is just pure greed. And yeah, of course, when you have a company who is buying other studios and companies for tens of billions of dollars, they need to make their money back as quickly as possible, and they need to make as much money as possible. And we knew that it was going to get pretty bad after they started sucking up all of these smaller entities and they started, pushing all of these massive deals. So we're just seeing the consequences of their own actions. And well, they're seeing the consequences of their own because they are now facing major boycotts, major backlash. And honestly, I am not going to shed a tear for them. But that's all that I really had to discuss in this video. Let everyone know your thoughts in the comments below. If you found this important and informative, make sure to give it a like. And if you didn't, give it a dislike. I appreciate your support either way, but I'll talk to you all again in the next video really soon.